Yo, what's going on, faithfuls? It's your boy Mike from the Nothing But Niners crew. We are here to bring you guys just some preseason talk, man. The time is coming. I can feel it. I can smell it, man. I'm hyped. I woke up this morning, I was like, oh shit, Niners play football this week. Like, not even on Sunday, not even Saturday. We play Thursday night football, man. I'm hyped. So listen, before we get to all the talk and everything, we'll let you guys know where to find us. All right. Check us out at www.nothingbutniners.com. There you're going to be led to all our different social media platforms. We have Twitter, we have Snapchat. Both of those are Nothing But Nine ERS. There's Periscope, which is also Nothing But Nine ERS. We have Instagram, we have Facebook. Those are Nothing But Niners, spelled all the way out. All right, so you guys find us on those there. Make sure you check out the podcast. It's on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Google Play, SoundCloud, everything that plays podcast, we are there. You can just search for NB Niners. It'll pop up, I promise you that. And then we got this here thing called YouTube. Apparently it's something that people do videos on, and people can talk and they can watch and they can do the live chat and all that stuff. It's pretty cool, this YouTube thing. So make sure you check us out there. If it's your first time here watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button down there in the bottom corner. We appreciate that. Hit the little bell so you don't miss any of the alerts. We're going to be bringing you guys, once the regular season gets here, I think we're going to use this week as a practice run, man. We're going to use preseason as a practice run. We're going to be bringing you guys at least 3 or 4 videos a week, so you guys aren't going to want to miss it. And that's just regular football talk. That is opponent talk only. We're not talking about the fantasy football and all that other stuff that we might be doing. So you guys are going to make sure you're locked in, you catch everything, and you're not going to want to miss anything we're bringing you guys. So with no further ado, man, Nick, can you feel it? How you feeling over there, man?
Bro, I'm getting the jitters. It's weird. Like this year, like usually I'm like cool, calm, collected, like, yeah, Niners football's back, blah, blah, blah. This year, man, I got an excitement feel, but then I'm trying to keep myself so leveled. So I don't know if I can do it that much longer because I'm just such a fan that I'm just so hyped, and I don't want to buy into all the hype for preseason and mini camp and OTAs and training camp. But man, my hair's starting to stand up on my arms when we talk about Niners football because it is right there. It's so close, man. But I'm so excited. The season should be fun, man. We just got to hope this injury bug doesn't hit us. We got a couple of injuries now. Nothing major, nothing, all minor stuff, but it's still injuries. So I don't know what it is with the 49ers and hamstring injuries, man. It's like seems like every year somebody has a hamstring injury. But that's not what we're talking about today, man. We are talking about something that interests us in this Thursday night's preseason game. And we're going to talk about a positional group, and we're each going to give an offensive and defensive player. So, Mike, man, I'm super pumped, man. Look, my hair is literally standing up on my arm right now. Niners football is back. Oh, man, I can't wait.
Can you hear me? Okay, there we go. Yeah, so like I woke up this morning and I'm like, all right, football's coming. Holy shit, football's gonna be here on Thursday. And like I just get the Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 song that Can You Feel It in my head. Like it's stuck. It's like I'm like walking around singing it all day. And so listen, I know we're gonna get to these topics that we have here, but it is important to talk about some of the injuries that have happened, specifically with Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman, so it's not his Achilles, it's the opposite leg. And it's the hamstring that's bothering him. And so he's not going to play preseason week 1. I wonder if that has something to do with his bonuses. Didn't he have to like play in a certain amount of the snaps and all that? I don't know if preseason counts though. So I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see. We were listening to some of the guys in the room talk about their leg injuries and how you do so much overcompensating for your injured leg that you put more of a strain on the opposite side. And so that's what's happening. You saw Kev and Matt were saying things like that. There was someone else that also mentioned it, but I can't remember who it was, but little things like that. The good news is nothing season ending just yet. We got Joshua Garnett, who's still acting up, still acts like he doesn't want to come out here and play. I don't know. I'm not going to say he doesn't want to play. I shouldn't say it like that, but the doctors are checking him. They're saying that he's fine. He's saying, no, something's wrong. He's getting second opinions. They still can't find anything, but he's being held out still. And then the other injury is, I'm drawing a blank here. You remember who it was?
Jimmy Ward had tightness in his hamstring again.
Yeah, but that's kind of that's a normal thing. There was another big name that was pulled because of tightness. Oh, in the groin. Who was it that had a groin injury?
Oh shit.
Was it Pettis?
Pettis had groin. Yeah, Pettis. That's who it was.
Okay. All right, yeah. So like little things like that are happening, and you guys have to remember that the team is ramping up because we play on Thursday, not Sunday. So we're losing 3 days. So the team is doing more in a congested, in a restricted time. So that's what it is. All right. So enough of the injury stuff. The good news, like I said, knock on wood, and I don't have any in here, is that the team hasn't sustained any season-ending injuries yet. So that's a very, very good thing. And let's go ahead and get to it. I'm going to kick it off with my position group first because I mentioned Joshua Garnett. My position group is the offensive line. That's going to be something I'm really, really excited and anxious to watch. I don't know if they're going to be good. I don't know if they're going to be bad. The good thing is that Dallas doesn't really have that dynamic of a defensive line, so they should get some decent practice. Some practice against starters is definitely going to help out. Starters that aren't our own, you know what I mean? So getting to watch these guys go up against, I wish Dallas had, DeMarcus Ware and things like that still, but they don't. So we're going to get to see what they can do. It's going to be in a completely different line. Lincoln Tomlinson is penciled in as a starter right now. They said Cooper returned back to practice finally, but he's just now getting his feet wet with the offensive line. You got the McGlinchey guy over there at the right tackle. Joe Staley is going to be the only returning guy in the same position. We have no idea who's going to be playing at the right guard spot. We're assuming it's going to be Lincoln Tomlinson. I wouldn't be surprised if someone else was playing left guard. And then we have Weston Richburg playing center. 49er fans have convinced themselves thoroughly that this year's line is an upgrade. And the only caution that I have with that is this. At the end of the year, our offensive line played pretty freaking good. There was a lot of players who, when we finished with Jimmy Garoppolo, were ranked in the top 10 just in that time frame. And we blew it up. We completely dismantled that offensive line. Now, the NFL has made it like very known that over the last 3 or 4 seasons, good offensive linemen are hard to come by. Yet we blew it up. We had something that seemed to be working at the end of the year, and we ignited it, and we let the fuse blow all the way down. Boom, it's gone. So it's going to be the position that I am paying the most attention to, and it's not just going to be. I'm sorry, Canadian geese are like swarming my van. I'm sorry. It's not just going to be the starters that I'm paying attention to. It's going to be the backups as well, because we're likely to experience some injuries on the offensive line. So, all right, that's my position group, Nick. It's your turn, man.
All right. That reminds me of the bug, bro. Anyway. All right. So I agree with you on certain points and aspects of the offensive line. So, all right, stop, Mike. I'm about to kick you out. Anyway, I agree with you with certain aspects of the offensive line. So we're not sure who's going to play there. But I do believe that there are upgradable people that can be better than what we had last year. Have I seen it yet? No, I haven't seen it yet. But I do agree with some people that there is an opportunity for this offensive line to be better. And you forgot Mike, how do you say it? Persons. He's also a guy that, I'm interested in seeing if he gets any snaps this year. Laken Tomlinson, obviously, with the extension. Joshua Garnett and his bust of a knee or bust of a career, whatever you want to call it. I'm just so upset with Garnett, man, because Garnett could really be a good football player if it just seems like he just doesn't. I don't want to say he doesn't put himself out there to do it, but it just seems like every year it's something that's bothering him that he can't go. But there are a couple people, but that is definitely I agree with you. That's definitely a positional group to keep an eye on for this Thursday night. See what kind of rotations going in and out. See who's playing on that line. But so I guess I'll stick with positional group real quick, and I'll do my positional group real quick. But mine's not as big as the offensive line, but I'm interested in seeing who is doing kickoff returns, punt returns, and such like that. Because last year we had the GOAT at special teams, Mostert, because we know that once he got off the field, our special teams just went down the drain pretty much, other than, positional players like gunners and stuff like that. But I'm interested to see who's taking those punt returns. Dante Pettis, Richie James, Trent Taylor, Mostert. They said Joe Williams was playing gunner today or yesterday, which is, huge for him. Huge for him. But yeah, so I mean, overall, I'm interested in seeing that group of who's returning kicks because the hype for Dante Pettis and Richie James when we drafted him wasn't for a wide receiver. Everybody had the hype about how he can run the ball back, get us great, field position and stuff like that. So I'm kind of interested to see how that battle's going there because that Kyle Shanahan is huge on making this team. You have to play special teams. Like you have to play, like certain player positions have to play special teams. So that's a big position for me to watch because that could also determine who's going to play as a wide receiver on this team, or even a running back that we're going to keep because, we got tons of running backs that are on this team, tons of wide receivers, and the competition is deep. So those people are going to separate themselves because of what they can do on special teams compared to at the line of scrimmage. So definitely want to see that. But who? Let's go defense now. Who are you interested? Or I mean, you can comment on that. I'm sorry, you could, rebuttal back on that. So, what do you think about our kickoff returns and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, you go from Mostert to Bolden Jr., Breida, and Taylor last year, and now just the additions that we have. It's Richie James, Dante Pettis, and I always confuse it. Is it Moore or Reed? One of those secondary guys also did kick returns in college. One of the drafty guys, I can't remember, but you add those guys to the mix. You assume that Breida is going to get a bigger role in as a running back, so maybe they want to pull him off of that duty. You know what I mean? Taylor, as good as he was in averaging, what was it, like 10 yards to return or something like that, even though he did that well, I never felt like he was going to take one to the house. So maybe they want some more explosion out of a punt returner. You know what I mean? But the first job is to secure the catch. So Taylor's probably the best at that on the team. You got Bolden Jr., who's suspended, right? Isn't he the one that's suspended for the first 2 games? So, I mean, it's going to look different. The kick return is definitely going to be something interesting to watch. And I'm going to be even more interested to see if they use Bolden Jr. He's allowed to practice and participate in preseason games. So I'm wondering if they're going to even put him out there at all to do any of the returning during preseason. Definitely a good position to watch. And as far as the defense goes, my defensive player is going to be someone who is already looking to be very important to the secondary. It's going to be Jimmy Ward. And as much as people, hate him and they don't like how often he's injured and things like that, Richard Sherman's already injured. And as far as I can tell, Jimmy Ward's going to be the guy to play corner opposite of Akello Witherspoon right now. And I want to see if they try to work Jimmy Ward in at different positions, if he comes in at nickel a little bit, if he moves the safety at all during the games. I can't wait to watch how Jimmy Ward is used, because with Jimmy Ward as added depth, it improves the strength of our secondary tremendously, because he can play so many of the different positions and things like that. So Jimmy Ward is definitely my guy. I want to make sure that he's not tight. I want to make sure that he's not out there and pulling up when it's time to hit somebody. I want to make sure that he's playing and giving it his all, 100%, whether it's limited snaps or if he's playing extended snaps because of his lack of playing time. I want to see how he advances year 2 in the system as well. He's been trained and cross-trained at a lot of different positions. I want to see him show his grasp of the secondary and of the defense and his responsibilities.
Yeah, I mean, as much as a lot of us don't want to like Jimmy Ward because, one, he was a Trent Baalke pick, and there are not many of them left on this team. But 2, his ability to stay healthy. We talked about this on the last podcast, and you're like, well, he's more athletic than this, such and such. And you're like, give me one reason why. And I'm like, availability, basically. He has to get on the field. I mean, does he have talent? Yes, he's a talented dude. But it just seems like every year we hear something different. You get hurt stretching. You get hurt doing this. But then you break your arm or leg or ankle or whatever. It's just always, maybe he just plays that way that Foster plays, all out, and he just gives it all. Excuse me. And then, but I don't think Jimmy Ward's going anywhere. Obviously, I think this kind of like set it in stone for me when Robert Saleh was talking the other day, and he's like, we're not we're putting Jimmy back at corner right now. He's learning the ropes of the corner, but later down the road, we're going to throw him back to safety so that he can learn the safety position again. that's kind of telltales that he's not going anywhere. They have a plan for him one way or another.
I think that's also a backup plan because they don't want to put too much on Richard Sherman. So if you know who's going to be the backup in case Sherman goes down, you have that person focus on what they're going to be doing instead of cross training them at all these different positions. Right now, his priority should be playing cornerback, and then when Richard Sherman is healthy and returns, he knows the system well enough where he can just come in and step in right away. But right now, let Jimmy Ward focus on that. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And with his switching of all the positions, that's what they want him to focus on corner now. And like you said, it could be because of Sherman. It could be because, Kawan Williams is hurt right now. I don't know how significant that injury is. I didn't hear anything else about it yet. But, he can play the nickel. So he can play that slot guy, So he's very versatile, definitely versatile. It's just if he could just stay healthy, man, I'd love him that much more. I can't say that. I mean, I boo the hell out of him when people talk about him because I just want to see him play. Like I'm upset with him. I'm frustrated. So, but yeah, so I agree with you on those situations. And my defensive player is going to be Fred Warner. Like this guy has been great in coverage. Very, very. You heard about him in OTAs and rookie minicamp about how he was very vocal, playing stuff like that. So with the with the ups and downs of Malcolm Smith and Brock Coyle, because Brock Coyle's injured right now too, on and off the field, which I love Brock. But he's somebody. He's somebody that we should watch because he has that versatility as well. He can play inside. He can play outside. He has very good speed. I think he was a converted safety, right? That was Warner, right? He was a safety before, converted down. So, Slick Rick, what's up? Anyway, so I'm going to check the chat. I just turned on the chat as well. And Slick Rick, as soon as I turn it on, says no fan interaction. Guess I'm going to listen to the radio. All right. So I said, what up? What up, Slick Rick the ruler? All right. So anyway, we'll get back to that. But Billy Jones, I'm a big Colbert fan. Lori says I think he's going to break out. Niners coaching staff like Ward more than the fans. Luke Walsh said, I love Luke, man. Luke is great. But anyway, so Fred Warner to me is somebody that I really want to watch because of the versatility that he has, the ability to play coverage, and just stuff like that. I mean, what do you think about Fred Warner? Like, did you like this pick, and did you like, what he could do for this team?
Yeah, Fred Warner is one of my favorite picks in this entire draft. Between him and Julian Taylor, those are my two favorites. And I like when when OTAs opened up and when training camp started, you heard that he was getting first team reps and he was already learning the mic position and how that he was too vocal. He was out there calling the defensive plays so loud that they could hear him on the sidelines. And, he's giving out the keys and things like that. But it shows enthusiasm, and I love his speed and his ability to cover. I think Fred Warner is going to be a very, very important role on this defense. He's gonna, he's gonna be a very dynamic player for us, not just as a linebacker, but someone who can drop back in coverage. He can hold up well against running backs and tight ends. So I'm looking forward to him. He's got a nice frame too. Like I can't wait to watch him play football. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know you said you were checking some of the chat. While you're doing that, I'm going to start with my offensive player, and you can wave me down if there's anything that you want to stop for. But yeah, Fred Warner is going to be a lot of fun to watch, man. I can't wait to see him. But my offensive player is going to be the guy that I think is taking another wide receiver's position this year, and that's going to be Richie James. Now, Richie James is going to be forced down our throats, pause, but he's going to be the guy that when we're watching him, he's always going to be out on the field. He's great in space. He can get separation. He's got speed. And because he's not projected to be a starter, he's going to be playing with the second and third team a lot. All right. Quarterbacks are going to be going to him because he's not considered like a check down. You know what I mean? He's gonna be playing lined up in the slot. They might line him up outside a little bit also, but he's quarterbacks who want to make a name for themselves or secure their position, they don't want to always throw at the running backs. They don't always want to throw at the tight ends. They want to find a wide receiver. So they're going to look for the guy in the slot a lot, and that's going to be Richie James. I think the 49er fans are going to grow to quickly love this guy. He's going to be making big plays all the time throughout the preseason, and he's gonna make a name for himself, and it's going to be pretty freaking hard to try to cut him. He's going to have to make this 53-man roster if he plays to the abilities that I know that he has.
Yeah, I mean, I really, really fell in love with Richie James once we interviewed him. You guys can check that out on our channel here as well, or our SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. Just search NB Niners. But really, 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 really down to earth, dude. His ability, the records that he broke in college were just insane. Not even playing full seasons because of injuries. Because of broken collarbones and stuff like that. So 2 broken collarbones. Do I think Richie James makes this team? I absolutely 100% do think that he makes this team. Do I think that he's going to be the first wide receiver out there? No. Do I think he's going to touch the field? Yes. Same thing with Dante Pettis. Do I think he's going to be the first out there? Probably not. Do I think Trent Taylor makes this team? Yes. But these are 3 interesting people to watch. This positional group is very interested to watch. And even Garcon has been playing some slot. So that slot position there is really open. But do I think that somebody gets kicked off the team for another, like a Trent Taylor, like we talked about this before, for a Dante Pettis or a Richie James or even a Pierre Garcon moving into the slot? Them Canadian geese got you on a 360 over there. But hold on. Luke Walsh said Canadian geese press coverage can be defeated with the vertical motion by their football rules. So I saw that. I had to mention that. But I think they all make that team. I think, Bourne, Garcon, Goodwin, Taylor, Pettis, and James. I think there are 6 receivers that we carry this year. But it's definitely going to be interesting. Dante Pettis runs so weird. And that plant foot is just amazing, the way he gets separation. And in Kyle Shanahan's type of offense, you need separation. That's what it's all built around. Richie James is the same exact way. Just doesn't have that funky way of running. But definitely interested in seeing Richie James, man. Plus, he's from Florida, so.
Yeah, and for the people who are watching live, man, let us know your position groups that you're going to be watching the most. Let us know your offensive player and your defensive player you're most anxious to see when preseason starts. Let us know, and Nick will read those off while he gives us his offensive player to watch during preseason.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are asking, Richie James, Kendrick Bourne, Reuben Foster, and Warner look out. Foster's probably not going to play much. He may, though, because he's going to get that. He needs that time because of the fact that he's got 2-game suspension.
Yeah, I would expect Reuben Foster to get some playing time. I know that, I might not put him out there with the ones, but I would definitely make sure that he gets some snaps because he's got that 2-game suspension. And during that time, he can't be around the team. He can't go to practice once that suspension starts. So let him go ahead and get the reps now. And even people are going to hate me for saying this. I'd even play him in the 4th preseason game. I let him get a couple of reps out there just to keep his legs under him and hope that he's healthy enough to, because they're teaching him a different tackling technique this year. He's got to keep practicing that. So I'd let him get a couple of snaps even in the 4th preseason game.
Yeah, and we talked about that before, the learning the new tackling position, but I don't think it's so much because of just of the new rule. But man, that's good. That new rule is going to be, if you watch the Hall of Fame game, I mean, that rule is going to make some people lose some games and make some people win some games, because that is just crazy. What was that, Mike?
How many times was that a flag thrown for that rule? I remember seeing.
Bro, there was like 7 of them.
No way.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, there was a ton, dude. And a lot of them were really like fundamentals that you learn. Bite the ball, use your shoulder. But because their head was lowered instead of looking up like this, they call it a penalty. Like, crazy. But, yeah, so offensive line and secondary, people are saying defensive end and wide receiver is going to be interesting. David Roy says keep 7 wide receivers, only 3 tight ends.
Wait. Let me just say, last year we kept 6 wide receivers, and we kept 3 tight ends also. So that's going to be a different position group. I do think this, guys. I'm doing a breakdown of the roster, and I only got like 2 or 3 positions left. And I'm sticking with the format that the 49ers used last season. However, this year I do think they stray away from it. I do think we keep an extra wide receiver because they're not going to want to let go of a guy like Trent Taylor. And Richie James is going to go off in preseason. They're not going to be able to just cut him and hope to slide him back on practice squad. So I do think that we're going to keep 7 wide receivers this year. I think Burbridge is going to be the guy that makes the roster, that surprises people. He's been showing out in special teams. But I think where we end up losing some people that we don't anticipate is going to be on the defensive line. I think we're going to keep 1 less defensive lineman this year than we did last year. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Makes sense. Rob Ayman says, how do you feel about playing Pettis in the slot? Which we've already talked about that. I don't even know what this FTRRU, Hillo 550. Jimmy G's greater than some guy who threw to Jerry Rice. I wouldn't go all there yet. Billy Jones, this is something too, Mike, that you're big on. It says we still need pass rushers. So we all know that, positional group wise, I'm interested to see what that is as well. What up, Grande? I don't know how to say your first name. Sorry. Foster injuries prone. Jesus is my king. What's up, baby?
Wait. Let me just stop that real quick. I don't think Reuben Foster's injury prone. Once he came back healthy, I don't think he missed any snaps. He got injured. He had to come off the field, but it was always on like a 3rd down. You know what I mean? Like we saw him down so much that we just assumed that he's always injured. He didn't miss any games when he returned. There was no reoccurring injuries. He had that one issue in the beginning of the year. What was that week?
High ankle sprain.
Week 2 or 3. Oh yeah, week 1. That's right. Yeah. It was week 1. But once he returned, he didn't miss any more games. So players get dinged, players get injured, and they have to step off for a little bit. But I wouldn't call him injury prone. He's not missing snaps. So it's a big misconception about Reuben Foster. He'll be fine. He's just got to learn to preserve his body a little bit longer. And as far as Dante Pettis playing in the slot, I wouldn't put him there right away. I mean, I know that he's going to get work there. When OTAs started in training camp, they were talking about how, I think it was more OTAs. They were talking about how he was playing all of the different wide receiver positions. But then Kyle Shanahan recently came out and said that they want him to focus on honing his skills on one position instead. So I don't think that one of those positions is slot. It sounds like they put Garcon in the slot a little bit more instead of Pettis once training camp got here. So we'll see. Would I be surprised to see him line up in the slot? Yes, but I mean, I also see him lining up a little away from the line, not on the line. You know what I mean? I don't know what that position is technically called. I'm not that guy, but there's a position where you're off to the side of the tackles or tight end if it's a tight end set over there. I don't know, but he's over in the middle. He's not against the line. So
that's a player. I mean, since you're talking about off the tight end, off tackle, that's a player I'm excited for this year is George Kittle. I really am excited for him. Him and Selleck. I think both of those are going to thrive this year.
You haven't given us your offensive player yet.
Yeah, no. And my offensive player is, and you all know that I've been so hard on this dude. I've been really hard on him, and I'm still going to continue to be hard on him because whether it was he was stacked on the IR because he couldn't learn the playbook or did he really have an injury, the football mentality wasn't there. This guy's just a bruiser. I'm going to be really honed in on Joe Williams this offseason, this preseason, this game and every other game forward because Joe Williams has a lot of talent. Once he learns how to hold on to the football, which was a big concern. He's got speed. He can run the ball through tackles. He's a bruiser. I mean, we talked about size. He's pretty much the same height and size as Matt Breida, which kind of surprised you, huh, Mike? But I want to see what this is because he is probably the only one on this team and possibly McNichols that could kick Breida off this team. He's possibly the only one. because McKinnon's not going to do it, obviously, because McKinnon's already a lock. So the competition is between Breida, Mostert, McNichols, and Williams. Williams played no special teams last year. None. And now all of a sudden he's playing special teams. So he's not running the ball, but he's playing gunner. So I'm interested in seeing what this guy brings. And I'm a huge Breida fan. Like I love Breida. I really do like Breida. I think he can do anything on the field. And last year was his first year. He could only get better. So Joe Williams really has a lot to prove to me, and I think he really has a lot to prove to this organization and this team to make this team. But I'm really interested in seeing what he does this preseason.
So you got to look at. I know. I had the crazy ass prediction that Matt Breida doesn't make the team this year, but man, the reports coming out of camp. It sounds like he looks really freaking good. I'm going to hold tight to it just because it was a bold prediction. But again, I think running back might be another position where we end up keeping 4 instead of 3 like we did last year. Also, there's too much talent to let go of. I mean, if Joe Williams is finally coming around, it's somebody that we moved up to get in the 4th round. They're not going to want to let him go. That's 2 players worth of a guy right there. You know what I mean? You got McKinnon. Wait, did we move up to get Williams? Did we trade up to get him?
No, it was just a 4th round pick. I think it was like 21.
We traded up for Beathard. That's who it was. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I got the 3rd and 4th round confused. But still, it was a player that Kyle Shanahan had to like convince his GM to go out and get. So you know he's got a vested interest in him. McKinnon obviously isn't going anywhere. Breida has been tearing it up, and you got McNichols and Mostert. I mean, you know, I'm just saying, like, Williams is going to make the team likely. McKinnon's going to make the team. Breida's going to make the team. And Mostert was really good on special teams, man. It's going to be hard to not bring him back. So I could see us keeping 4 running backs this year also. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, man. And McKinnon I have not seen any reports where people saying how good he's running the ball. The first open practice they had, he ran a 70-yard run. The first one. After that, I have never seen. You know how Grant Cohn does the good, the bad, or ugly, or whatever it is that he does after every practice. Not one time has he mentioned McKinnon running the ball again. Not once. McKinnon's made the list as the good 3 different times, but it's all been as a passer, as a pass catcher.
Yeah, but how much do you really take into consideration right now running in training camp? They're touching you. You're not bouncing off tacklers. You're not bouncing off people. So that is where you're going to really want to watch McKinnon.
There's contact though.
Yeah, but it's not contact. It's bump you up, hold you up type contact. It's not. They're not going 100%.
Bro, there's other running backs that are getting praised for their running abilities, and McKinnon is not one of them.
Well, and that's why I'm not saying that you're incorrect. I'm just saying I don't take much into them running the football. The same as I don't take much into the passing because one, the defense knows cadences, they know the plays, they know, things like that. The same with the offense knows the defensive cadences, the plays and stuff like that. So you're going to see more interceptions. You're going to see more, good pass coverage. You're going to see, Jimmy Garoppolo could have been sacked 5 times today. Yeah. You're not really going up. That's why this Dallas game and the practice with Houston next week is going to be huge. Like, you're going to see a lot of stuff out of there. What? Oh,
we've done joint practices before. I'm actually excited for the joint practice this year because I think there's going to be fights. I know I shouldn't be smiling this hard saying that there's going to be fights, but I can't wait to see how this group sticks together. I can't wait to see that shit, man. Like, oh my God, Nick, I'm going to freaking love it. And Houston bodied us. I don't know if you remember, we did a joint practice with them. Was that under Chip Kelly? I think. Or am I thinking about Denver? Was it Denver or Houston? It was Denver. It was Denver. That's when Von Miller was praising Trent Brown. It was Denver. Yeah. And then the preseason game came and they destroyed us. They absolutely destroyed us out there. I don't see that happening this year. We're finally going to do a joint practice. We're going to run those guys through the ground, and we're going to go out there and take it to them. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's stay with the topic at hand. Has anyone else named any position groups or individual players that they're going to be watching? Go
Gohard said, why everybody else so excited that Joe Williams had 2 nice runs on a second-team defense? Check out John Chapman, David Lombardi, and the 49ers Hub. They had a lot to say about Williams' first 3 days, which is true. Nobody said that I didn't personally say that I'm excited. I just said that I want to see what he can do because I don't like him from what I've saw, and there's a ton of hype about Joe Williams. I think that Joe Williams is just a bigger bullier type of Matt Breida type person that we already have on this team. To me, Joe Williams can be wiped and cut off this team. He doesn't do anything that's special. And that's why I'm so excited to see how they utilize him because, Mike, you've known this the whole time. I've never been big on Joe Williams. Like never, not once. When we drafted him, I'm like, yeah, cool. Let's see what this guy's got. And then he fumbles on the goal line. He drops the ball within the 10. You know, he made 2 good runs, and everybody's like, oh, well, if he can get to the outside, he's fast, he's speed, this and that. Yeah, but you got to hold on to the football, and you got to be football smart and know the plays because I really think he was stashed on the IR because of not being able to get the plays. I mean, whatever. But go ahead.
To answer Gohard's question, I think you said it was Gohard. The reason people are excited about him is because of what the team has invested in him. You got to remember that he's the only running back that this he's the only running back that this regime has actually drafted. Everyone else has been a free agent or an undrafted free agent that came in. They haven't drafted anybody. Even when Carlos Hyde left, they didn't draft anybody. They did it last year while Hyde was still here. And so I don't know if they looked at him as possibly the Hyde replacement or what, but we have something invested in him, and it's time to see if that investment's going to shake out. So that's why there's so much talk about him. I wouldn't call it excitement, but that's why there's so much talk about him. Yeah,
no, I agree. I want to also give did you already give your offensive player? You did, right? I want to talk. What's up, Panama Queen? Luke Walsh, Go Hard, Lori, David Royce, Niner Faithful. Who thinks Eric Armstead is off this team? But we're going to get to that. Yeah. All right, so I just want to give one positional player honorable mention because I said this to Mike, and Mike said, no, we can't do that because, such and such. But I'm really interested in seeing the growth of C.J. Beathard. And the reason I'm interested in seeing the growth of C.J. Beathard is because what if our offensive line doesn't work and we so happen to have an injury to our franchise quarterback? Will our season continue to go on or will it not? I'm interested to see what C.J. Beathard has come a long way in 1 year. I wasn't big on C.J. Beathard last year. You guys all know that. I talked, he's horrible. Get him out of there. I'd just should have kept whatever in there. But let's say he comes out. I want to see. You just saw what Philadelphia did with Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. Backups mean a lot. Right? So we need to see what C.J. Beathard has. Yes or no? You don't agree that we need to see what C.J. Beathard has or how much growth he's had?
I tell you what, he's got to average more than 10 points a game. His first 2 starts were horrible, absolutely horrible. But then he came out in that Giants game. He kind of redeemed himself, and then he let Seattle beat him up. A lot of that was the offensive line and first-year jitters and things like that. And, yes, absolutely, a backup is going to be very important. I asked a question in the group the other day about if for whatever reason Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't play, how many wins do you think C.J. Beathard could get us? And people were still saying about 5. I think that was about the average, that we would still win 5 or 6 games. So that's pretty good. That means that they have a lot of faith in him. And I'll be honest with you, from some of the clips I've seen, he's passing the ball with a lot more confidence. He looks decisive, but these are just the clips that we're seeing in pre-planned plays. So watching him in preseason is definitely going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, the reason I said you couldn't name him, though, is because he's not someone, if all things go the way we want them to, we're not going to see him at all this year. So that's why I was like, I don't want you to waste your offensive pick on him. That's the only reason I said that.
Right. No, and I definitely understood what you were saying. I'm just saying, I think the backup quarterback is just as important as your starting quarterback of what you have behind your starting quarterback. And we need to see what we have there because injuries happen all the time. Knock on motherfucking wood. But we did hear some good things coming out of like Eric Crocker and Zach and them that were at open media days, practice days and stuff like that. So but nothing more than that. Billy Jones, I definitely agree he could develop into a nice backup, but probably nothing more than that. And I think he's kind of the question was just asked to him the other day. How do you feel now that Jimmy Garoppolo signed here and you know that you have 4 more years left on your contract? And he's like, I take it day by day. I'm not thinking about where I'm going to play after this. I'm a 49er now, and that's where I'm going to play. But there's some stupid-ass questions.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's a silly question. That's like every time the Patriots drafted a quarterback. It's like, all right, Tom Brady's got plenty left in the tank. They don't mean that, they're going to be there. They're going to learn. They're going to put film out, and they hope that someone else picks them up. Like that's what every good backup quarterback does. They want to be a starter. They still got the same ambitions, but it's just a matter of time. I'm looking at these guys over here. They're cutting wood down, and these idiots let it fall on top of the property's picnic table, and that table's busted. They're trying to fix it and bend it back into shape now. No, it's too late. Y'all tore that table up. It's done.
We got geese surrounding Mike's truck, trees getting cut down on people's picnic tables. Mike, where are you at, bro? Look, now they're carrying it across the street. Guys, this is all exclusive access right here. You will not see this anywhere else but Nothing But Niners, all right? So make sure you subscribe down there.
I'm sorry. They fucked up the table. They're going to go hide it in the woods now. That's crazy. That's what they're doing. They're really going to take it back to the woods in the dumpster area. That's wild. Okay. I'm done. I got to get out of here, man. Let me get back to work.
Yeah, definitely, guys. But that definitely concludes, guys. Look, like Mike said, we're going to be trying to do 4 or 5 videos a week this year. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like everywhere that we're, everywhere we are. Go to nothingbutniners.com. You can see all of our social media there. Got a bunch of great writers that put out a bunch of different articles. We just had positional previews. So go check those out. I know TJ McKinney did one. I know Kev Mitchell did one. Teach, Mike Messner did one. Linebackers, quarterback.
They're not all they all haven't dropped yet, but they're going to be coming this week. It's just positions to watch in training camp. We grade all the individual players and whether or not we think they're going to make the roster. I did one also. I think my position group was linebackers. So you guys can see my horrible writing over there, but I wanted to try it, so it's there. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, guys, visit nothingbutniners.com. Check out our Snapchat, nothingbut9ERS. Check us out on Twitter, nothingbut9ERS. You can check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Nothing But Niners. Same as YouTube. If you are already here watching, you see that we are here. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notifications down there. And check out all our podcasts, SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Play. And make sure you leave us a review if it's your first time listening. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars if you want. If not, you can give us 1 star. I don't care. We'll write you back. We do a lot of fan interaction over there. But, guys, man, let's keep our heads up high. Stay humble. Let's hope and pray for no injuries this year. And big shout out to all our followers and supporters. And once we hit that 3,000 on here, YouTube, don't forget, I have an Adrian Colbert signed jersey to give away to 1 lucky random subscriber. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And, guys, that's it, man. Niners on Thursday night, man. Football is back, and my hair is standing up again. Once I talk about the game, Thursday night, baby, 10 p.m. Eastern time, I think it is, 7 p.m. Pacific
Can you
time.
feel it?
Oh,
huh?
Feel it. Can you feel it?
Let's go, man. Let's go. I'm ready.
All right, guys. Above all else, stay faithful. We out.